Good morning. Today is Thursday, February 12th, 2026. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Lewis and Clark County Commission. Would you please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to introduce our group here today. Jenny Chambers is the manager. Jenny Chambers is the head of the planning and the public works departments, and Brandy Grandy is our recording secretary, keeping track of all things. Commissioner Andy Hunthausen to my immediate left, Commissioner Candace Payne to my immediate right, Nico Hash and TJ Murphy are representatives of the county attorney's office to keep us on the straight and narrow, and Roger Baltz, our chief administrative officer. I'm Tom Rolfe, chair of the commission. There is an agenda by the bar and a sign-in sheet. We'd like to have your contact information if you're here with us, and in case we need to get back to you. Well, our first item is a consent action item. Mr. Baltz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. This is item 3A on the agenda today. It's vendor claims report for week ending February 13, 2026. Commissioners, I want to let you know this morning that we are recommending that you do not take action to approve this item today because due to our technology, we have not been able to get those vendor claims to you for your review as yet per our normal process and our normal routine. Our finance staff is working hard to get that issue taken care of. We recommend that you do not approve this today. We will bring it back to you. Our recommendation is February the 26th because we don't have meetings next week. So please take no action and we'll bring it back to you on the 26th. Glad to answer any questions. Thank you, Commissioner.
All right. And there would be just no action, nothing, no motions or anything like that.
No, and Mr. Chair and Commissioners, what we would like to do is vendors have provided services to the county, so we want to get those checks routed as soon as we can. So as soon as we have this information in a format for you, we will send you that information individually for you to review and see as well. Thank you.
Great. I do appreciate that, and I appreciate the thoroughness of that, to be able to look things over before we send the money out. Thank you. All right. And we'll move on again.
Mr. Chair,
Commissioner Hunthausen.
Just since it's on the agenda, we should probably take public comment anyway.
Oh, that's right. Is there any public comment on the vendor claims report? Any public comment? There being none, then we will just leave it set. And Commissioner.
I just want to make sure the bills are getting paid in a timely fashion. Marni? Roger? Somebody?
Mr. Chair and Commissioner, yes. So again, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear. We would like to send you these claims as soon as they are ready for your review and get those checks processed. We will bring back the formal recommendation for approval. It will, in a sense, be after the fact. We'll bring it back to you on the 26th.
Oh, we're all practiced up on retroactive contracts, aren't we?
Yes.
That's all.
All right. All right. Any further comment? We'll move on to the action items. Action item 4A. Grant application to the Montana Geospatial Information Act, MGIA, grant program. Jessica.
Good morning, Chair Rolfe, Commissioners. My name is Jessica Makus, Special Districts Coordinator for Lewis and Clark County. I'm also joined this morning by Eric Spangenberg, our GIS Coordinator. Before you today for your consideration is a grant application to the Montana Geospatial Information Act grant program. This grant application is due on February 25th, and the grant period begins July 1st, 2026, and runs for a 2-year cycle until June 30th of 28. The county would apply for a total of $65,000 in grant funds to support the Lewis and Clark County Road Ownership and Centerline Classification Project. If awarded, this project would include hiring a consultant to provide historic legal research on the jurisdictional status of roads within the county and verify centerline geospatial data for these roads through right-of-way verification. This project would continue the efforts of the Public Works, Community Development and Planning, and GIS departments to research historic records, including county commission journals, maps, aerial photos, current and past surveys, and right-of-way determination to gather necessary documentation to declare roads county roads as defined through Section 714-2101 of Montana Code Annotated, and develop resolutions for review and consideration by the Board of County Commissioners. The county is currently under contract to perform this research on a much smaller scale through a pilot project on 10 of the county's most traveled roadways. In addition to the $65,000 grant request, the county would contribute a total of $80,000 in match. A total of $20,000 would come from local MGIA funds, which are generated through local filing fees and managed through the county's IT department. The remaining $60,000 would come from the Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO funds, and be equally split between funds allocated to the Community Development and Planning Department and the Public Works Department, Road Division, and the Public Works Department, Bridge Division. This grant would allow the county to conduct this research on nearly all remaining roads that score a 35 or higher through our road prioritization matrix. A score of 35 is the minimum score required to justify maintenance through the Public Works Department. Road ownership clarification assists many county departments and also assists in improved customer service, as this is one of the most frequently asked questions received from the public. Once this data is collected, the GIS department will create a web-based map for partners and the public to easily look up road ownership information. This information will help first responders through more efficient emergency response, evacuation route planning, and clear up jurisdiction challenges for law enforcement. Further, this data will assist the Montana State Library with their goal of supporting a more robust data framework for digital transportation data statewide. Data will also support progress towards next generation 911 development. This project was presented by Kevin Horn to members of the Lewis and Clark Rural Fire Council in early February and has received letters of support from the Fire Council, the Sheriff's Office, and multiple other fire districts throughout the county. I will lead the project over the 2-year grant management effort and oversee the selected consultant with close support from Eric Spangenberg with the GIS department. He will ensure that the data is collected and formatted to meet the grant requirements. And I will just mention that a team of county staff have been working on this effort, including Director Chambers, Kevin Horn, Crystal Ness, Ann McCauley, and Eric and I as well. Staff recommend approval of the grant application to the MGIA grant program, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
All right. And maybe just kind of, if you could tell the public in kind of in general terms how you're going to be able to, how are you going to use that to help them?
Sure. Thank you, Chair Ralph. So I would say road ownership questions are one of the number one questions we receive across many departments: Public Works, Planning, GIS, you name it. It's also a challenge for local law enforcement jurisdiction. We need to have that historic research in place before we can present the information to you to declare roads formally as county roads. There are certainly roads that have been maintained by the county for decades, many decades, but we must go through this formal resolution process to declare those county roads, as we know. This will also, this information, once collected, will be helpful because we can put that into one of our web-based mapping tools. We have many that are managed by our GIS department, and those are very helpful tools by the public. This will be one more tool where the county, where law enforcement, fire districts, sheriff's office can jump on that tool, click on a road, and know the ownership right away. Is that a county road? Is that an MDT road? You know, those kinds of scenarios. So we think this will have multiple benefits for multiple departments, not only within the county, but also certainly our fire districts and sheriff's office as well.
And if I understand it right, every mile, every piece of county road is prioritized to establish which ones we can do because we don't have the money to do all the work on all the roads.
Sure, Ralph, that's a great point. So the Public Works Department, I believe in 2019, went forward with a road prioritization effort to objectively score all of our roads within the county through criteria such as average daily traffic, speed, emergency routes, bus routes, those kinds of objective criteria to give an unbiased score to every road within the county so that when we do have to prioritize those funds, which of course we do, we know which roads are most critical for our traveling public.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission?
Nope.
All right. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, we might want to take public comment though first.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that. and Mr. Spangenberg, I meant we have anything to add? Or? Okay. All right. Is there any public comment? There being no public comment, now can we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd move that we approve the grant application to the Montana Geospatial Information Act grant program as presented by Ms. Makus.
Second.
All right. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any discussion on the
Mr.
motion?
Chair,
Commissioner Hunthausen.
just looking forward to the work. It's clarification of any kind in this category of our world is might be good. There's going to still be a lot of gray area out there and a lot of different roads, but this should be helpful for the roads that have this review done on them. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
All right. Commissioner Payne.
One other thing that comes to mind is one of the really amazing things that I've seen this county do is have shovel-ready projects so that when they apply for a flap grant, that's what it is. This county is ready to go, and some of the other counties out there are just kind of getting their ducks lined up. This is one part of the ducks. So if we've got it prioritized. If there's a bridge and there's money out there, we've already got it I can see this is a tool that helps this county be in first place for shovel-ready projects for when we need to do something like this. So thanks for your good work, folks.
All right. Any other comments? Any other comments? No further comments. We can move to a vote. All in favor of approving the grant application to the Montana Geospatial Information Act, MGIA, grant program, as explained by Jessica Makus, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Next item on our agenda is a personnel policy 1.2.17, hazard communication. And Mr. Baltz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Kenny Gross is not available today, so I'll present this item for the record. I'm Roger Baltz, the Chief Administrative Officer of the county. So, Commissioners, this policy, the purpose of the policy is to set forth the directives and procedures for the safe handling of chemicals in the workplace. There are regulations set forth in the Montana Employee Community Hazardous Chemical Information Act and also in Federal Statute 29 CFR 1910.1200 that require employers to inform employees about workplace chemical hazards, provide safety data sheets, maintain a chemical list that is accessible to the employees, and conduct annual training. And CFR, Commissioners, as you may be aware, that stands for Code of Federal Regulations, is what that acronym is. Included in this policy are responsibilities of the employer, responsibilities of department directors and elected officials, responsibilities of employees, requirement of the designation of a hazard communication officer for each department and office, and the responsibilities of that officer. It also requires response and cleanup procedures for a chemical spill and sample hazard communication program that departments and officers can use to write their own communication program. The next steps include providing training for designated hazard communication officers and department heads and elected officials. We'll provide training for current employees and all new hires. We'll also be working with departments, offices, and writing to finalize their hazard communication programs. The policy and sample program were sent to employees and collective bargaining representatives for review and comment. It has been reviewed and approved by the county attorney's office as well, and staff recommends approval of this policy. And Commissioners, this policy is the result of many months of research and diligent work on the part of Human Resources. So once again, staff does recommend approval of this policy. Thank you very much.
All right. Do we have any questions from the commission? Any questions from the commission? Seeing none. Oh, yes, go ahead, Commissioner Payne.
Just to kind of put this in perspective, I'm hoping that our legal advisors here will kind of give us an idea as to, is there a history of danger of hazardous entities in our county? Have we had a problem with this, or the state, or are we heading off lawsuits, or what's behind this?
Mr. Chair and Commissioners, I think
Not knowing, you would hesitate to. Okay.
One, I think there's some requirements under federal law that we have this. As always, it's good to plan as opposed to this is proactive rather than reactive. So not only meeting certain obligations, but also having a set place should any of the potential conditions exist, and then everyone has a document which they can look at. So instead of everyone asking questions, we're implementing process.
Mr. Chair.
I'm sorry, Mr. Balls.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Maybe I could just add a little bit. And Commissioner, one of the things this will help us with is something called MSDS sheets, Material Data Safety Sheets, which explain it contains 16 elements that describe what chemicals and where you have them stored. So it's an important part of safety for the organization and for our employees. I guess a real life example maybe I could mention would be a few months ago when we had the fire out at the fairgrounds and we had a building that burned down out there. It's good for us to know what chemicals may or may not be stored in a building like that when an emergency like that happens. Would be one example. Thank you.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Okay. Any other questions? Is there any public comment on this item? Any public comment? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve action item 4B, Personnel Policy 1.2.17, Hazard Communication, as presented by Mr. Balls.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? I'd just like to comment, I just really appreciate staff staying on top of things like this. Keep us aware of what could be a problem, trying to get it resolved before it gets out of hand. So thank you for just another example of doing the job well. Thank you very much. All right. And if there's no further comment, then we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving action item 4B, Personnel Policy 1.2.17, Hazard Communication, as explained by Roger Baltz, please say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. We've arrived at the point in our agenda where we open the floor to public comment on any public matter within the jurisdiction of the commission that is not on today's agenda. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? There being none, we're adjourned.